Hey everyone, this is Teresa Hegel, Executive Editor of Special Projects and Sustainability at ASI.
And this is Cassie Green, Content Director of Apparelist and Editor at Printing United Alliance. And you're listening to Branding Together, a new adventure into the converging worlds of print and promo.
We're here to bring you an engaging monthly discussion that dissects just how closely each of these industries align. Whether you're a promotional products distributor, commercial printer, apparel decorator, or a little bit of everything, our topics and guests will bring the ultimate crossover conversation.
When you're ready to bring your business to the next level, get lost in this month's episode, which is set to happen in 3, 2, 1.
Well, welcome to our final regular episode of 2025 Branding Together. This year's journey, building our partnership with ASI and doing this show together has been a lot of fun. Teresa and I have really enjoyed getting to know different people in the industry and also being able to do a few in-person recordings. That's been a lot of fun. So we thought as a really cool way to close out the year, we are still going to do our typical industry headlines. We're still, interviewing some guests that have some really exciting news to share. But we want to send 2025 out with the highest positive note possible. And in that light, we've put together an episode that I think hopefully will make everybody laugh out loud a little bit.
A little bit of LOL, maybe even LMAO or ROFL.
Ooh, I hope so. I hope we get that kind of intense reaction, right? But first, okay, so obviously we still need to share some industry headlines. So Teresa, do you want to kick us off?
Absolutely. So I thought I would start out with kind of a roundup. I'm kind of cheating because this is actually 4 stories in one. But there have been a lot of hirings and promotions in the promo industry. So let's just kind of go through them. First off, for ASI, we actually have Nikki Stella, who joined as Senior Vice President of Strategic Relationships and Initiatives. So that's kind of exciting. She actually used to work at NAPCO back in the day, back when that was a thing. So, I think she'll be kind of reunited with some people that she may have worked with in past lives. So that's kind of an exciting new thing for ASI. Also, we have Jill Albers returning to BAMCO as the VP of Client Success. Allison Bellitz joined TechWeld as Director of Marketing. And DML Creation promoted Rosa Meliza to National Sales Manager. And if I've been butchering anybody's names, I apologize. I think they were mostly straightforward, but you never know. So those are some of the movers and shakers right now in our industry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Lots of shake up there, but also kudos because I think you did beautifully on all those names.
I hope so. We were just my daughter had her National Junior Honor Society induction, and they had kids from the high school come back to the middle school and announce all the names. And this kid was doing really, really, really well. It seemed like there were some complicated names. And then he said, Charlotte.
Of all the names.
How'd you get that one wrong?
Right.
But anyway, no Charlottes today. So
that's good.
What's your news?
Yes, first headline, and I'm excited to share this because Teresa and I are both involved in this, but voting for the 2025 Reggie Awards is now underway. So the nomination period has ended, but the voting period has begun. So this is spearheaded by the Two Regular Guys podcast crew, which is, some of our favorite people. Teresa and I frequent that show as news providers. But the Reggie Awards, for anyone who's not familiar, they happen every year. They give the industry an opportunity to shine a spotlight on the people, companies, and products making a real difference. From innovators and educators to community builders and rising stars, the Reggies are powered entirely by the decorators, suppliers, and supporters who make the community so special. There's a lot of different categories, and we'll be sure to include a link to the voting in the show notes. But some really exciting news, Teresa and I actually are being voted on for the Women's Voice Award.
So we're up against each other, but a win for you or a win for me, I feel like it's a win for both of us and a win for Branding Together. So
that's what I'm thinking, Teresa. When I found out that we were both nominated, I was like, well, I feel like this is a win for both of us, no matter who ultimately takes it home, even if it's neither of us, because let's be honest,
sure.
That lineup of girls,
yeah,
dang,
Yeah.
Stay some rock stars.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah. But again, we'll include the link to go vote. Please go vote. Like, this is a community driven thing. It's really exciting. There's so a lot of people doing really good things in this industry, and I want to make sure they get recognized.
Yes, for sure. It's fun. And it's always fun. I love to vote on things, polls, people, whatever. I love to cast a little vote.
That's right.
Make sure your voice is heard. Well, I just have one other piece of quick news. Registration for ASI Orlando is open. It's going to be from January 5th to the 7th. Also at the Orlando, the Orange County Convention Center, I believe. Mm-hmm. Probably not taking up quite as much space as Printing United, but we have a nice big chunk. And it's going to be a good show. So if you're not registered already, you should go sign up.
I can't believe we're already registering for a 2026 show.
No, I know. Trade show season, you think it's over, and then it just pulls you right back in.
I know. That's like a false sense of security because you're like, oh, it's over. It's the holidays. It's the end of the year. No.
It's like we do like the SOI kind of stuff. It's like, oh, we're done with it. And then, oh, by the way, we have to start doing those polls again. We have to start doing all that surveying. And it's really just never over.
I know. But very exciting. I know obviously a representative of our team will be there. I'm not sure who yet, but our team will be on site. It's been a great partnership. Really excited for the show. I know it's a really good one.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Great way to start off the new year, I think.
Heck yeah. And who doesn't want to go to Orlando when it's cold out everywhere else?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Awesome. Well, a second headline I want to share, and this is kind of like an interesting headline, but I'm sharing it for a few reasons. So backing up to the actual headline itself, is the NFL is continuing its expansion of its adaptive apparel collection line.
And for people that don't know, what adaptive apparel is for people that are maybe disabled or have trouble like putting like traditional types of clothes on.
Yep. So it's for anybody who may be missing a limb or have mobility issues. For example, there's like garments in it that, can be taken off with just one arm.
Okay.
So it has like extra like buttons up here, or it's easier like if you are in a wheelchair, it's easier to put on like pants and things like that. They launched the line in 2023. However, it was like a limited to certain teams. Well, now it's all the NFL teams have representation through this, which is really cool.
I love that.
Yeah. So not only is it a really like good feel good thing from like a retail standpoint, but I bet some of the listeners are like, how does this relate to our industry? I'm going to tell you how it relates to our industry. So two things I want to highlight from this is, so I actually was able to get an interview with Sean Green, who's the senior director of licensing at the NFL. And so, we kind of talked about that a little bit, like how retail apparel influences like the wholesale and apparel decorating side of the industry. So this is set up as a made to order print on demand apparel line that Fanatics, by the way, prints for. So, printing. Obviously, those NFL logos have to be added somehow. And Sean said, quote, while adaptive product is more specialized in that its blanks need to be manufactured with certain features that you don't find with like non-adaptive blanks, vendors who have to, sort of embrace this make to order or this print and demand model, we're seeing that more and more carry over into our industry, right? The sustainability aspect, the quick fulfillment aspect, the personalization aspect, that carries over to the blank side too. So we may start seeing this kind of stuff become more available and prevalent in our industry too. Yeah. So I think this is really exciting.
I do too. And I think, there's always a way to relate these things back to our industry, but this is more related than you might think at first glance, for sure. So
totally. So anyway, that's my headline wrap. How about you? Feeling good? Caught everybody up?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, now we got to transition to the next part. Any fans or regular listeners of the show know that we always kind of pick a topic that Teresa and I like to dissect, discuss. So as we alluded to in the introduction to this episode, we wanted to focus on not some of the turmoil and turbulence of 2025, but instead we're going to talk about the biggest wins of the industry in 2025. So you know, there were some real triumphs this year, I think, Teresa, and I really want to talk about that and go into it. So, even though 2025 was wild, tumultuous, whatever you want to say, the industry really showed that it kept finding ways to innovate and push the envelope. So before we really go into the specifics, I'm curious, Teresa, if you had to sum up 2025 in one word, what would it be and why?
Okay, so my word is join. Join, because I'm sort of alluding to all the different mergers and acquisitions that kind of happened this year and in the last couple of years. It's also alluding to that continued convergence of print and promo and apparel. We're all kind of joining together. But then it also highlights the partnership that we have with ASI and the Printing United Alliance and the Branding Together, podcast itself. So I'm just thinking join because it sounds nice, a good thing, and it kind of goes in a lot of different directions.
I think of like holding hands.
Holding hands, yes, but that's 2 words. So
I know, but that's like what it comes. That's like the picture I get. It's like, okay, yeah, I don't want to like actually physically hold your hand, but like the proverbial holding hands.
Right. What about you?
Well, I was going to pick something along those lines, but I was like, for the sake of avoiding repetition, because I agree, like I would have picked something like join or partnership or whatever, because yes, this year was really defined by that. I actually, I like the word innovate.
Okay.
And I really feel like the expo demonstrated this in that when I kind of think about like when you get backed against a wall and you have no other choice but to give up or fight your way back, that's often when the most genius ideas and like pushing the envelope often happens, when you're sort of backed into a corner, right? And I really feel like the industry could have either given up and backed down, or they could fight. And the fact that like everyone showed up at the expo, like we have people seeing it is the best show their company has ever seen ever. And we have attendees saying, we learned more and we purchased this equipment and we did all this stuff. That to me tells me everyone chose to fight and innovate instead of roll over and give up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know the next question we had was, how do we define a win in a year like this? Is it growth, innovation, connection, perseverance? How are you defining it? Maybe it is innovation you just mentioned.
Yeah. And I guess I would say like, yeah, definitely the innovate, the word that I say. I would say this, it's hard for me to say win, but maybe it's win in the perspective of we didn't die.
Yeah, we're still here.
You know what I mean? And sometimes win isn't always like some big glorious touchdown victory dance in the end zone. Sometimes a win is just a fact of like, I bought this piece of equipment and I can now service this customer base. That's a win.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's maybe you didn't have these giant wins, but maybe a smaller SMART goal that you were able to fulfill, or a change in your perspective. If you're looking at things in a different way, maybe you found a way to like partner with someone that you hadn't considered, or found a way to kind of pivot to a new market, or just maybe if you did have a lot of I don't know what your situation is, but if you had downtime, that's also an opportunity to go back and look at your business and evaluate what works, what hasn't been working, and in some way, I think I was just listening to someone say that, like, give yourself the gift of time. Well, in a way, like, I guess if you're having like a slow time, I mean, yes, that's bad, but at the same time, you have that time now and you can go back and look at your business and evaluate things and maybe take that needed step back to decide what is actually going to come next, as opposed to just always being reactive. You can be a little more proactive, and that can be a type of win too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I think obviously like both of our respective industries operate a lot under the small business model, where it's, an owner with maybe a handful of employees, if that, And oftentimes they're like, I don't have time to work on my business. I just have time to work in my business. Right. Yeah, I like what you pointed out there. Like this was an opportunity for people to work on their business, which I really like. So what would you say surprised you in a good way? You know, like out of the gate, I think there was a lot of like negative things that we were kind of caught off guard by.
Yeah, so I don't even want to go into the whole tariff thing. I don't even want to talk about that, honestly. I know it's important and it was a huge thing, but the thing that surprised me in a good way, and it's going to sound like I'm just like blowing steam at, the Alliance, but I thought that the expo, I was really surprised in a good way, just how big it was. I don't think, like, people say like, oh yeah, it's a really big show, or it's like, what, 1 million square feet or whatever. Until you're actually walking on that show floor and seeing the scope of these huge, like, wide format printers, or, a person size, like, 3D printer that can make a huge replica of like a 6 foot tall, I don't know, perfume bottle. Like, it doesn't click how big and how massive and what the scope of the print industry actually is. So I think getting to go to the expo for the first time this year was a really big and fun surprise for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to beat that horse either, and especially because I do work for the Alliance and the expo.
Yeah, you guys aren't paying me to say this or anything.
I know it's gonna sound like people are paying me to say this, but if I'm sitting here being completely transparent and honest, I was surprised by the expo too. And we always, like, it's always a good show, right? Because people like to come to trade shows. They like to go to in-person events. Every trade show I attended this year was a good show, right?
Right.
I say that with all honesty, even about our competitor shows, whatever. There were good shows that I went to this year. But what surprised me was the aggressive turnout of attendees at the show they weren't just there to get the free swag. They weren't just there because it's the thing it's the industry standard. That's just what we do. I feel like people were really there intentionally.
They came with purpose.
Right, with purpose and in a number that I just did not expect. Right? It just was such a huge turnout of intentional, purposeful registration that I don't even know what to say sometimes. It was so good, and I'm just like still riding that high of positive energy.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure you felt it on the show floor too. Like, it was energy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely.
And that felt really good.
So I think the next thing we were going to ask is, what is one major technology or advancement that you feel redefined the industry this year? And I feel like you might steal mine, but I'm just going to go with it. What are you going to say?
Well, okay. So I don't know that I'm going to steal yours.
Okay.
And technically, this isn't a technology. So just pretend that the question was asked differently. I'm going with merger and acquisition.
Okay.
As redefining the industry, because anytime you see these really big mergers happen, like the Taylor and Gooten, Gildan and Haynes, obviously everybody's talking about that one, Inktavo and OMG, they happened in such fast succession that it's going to lead to a lot of restructuring and reorganization, right? And You're going to see a lot, like, shifts on where people are purchasing and where they're purchasing from, and how it defines how customers behave and where people are sourcing their product, and even how manufacturers are now treating their customers. And a big one is always going to shake up the industry, but so many so quickly, I really think is just so redefining. So yeah, not technically a technology, but all of these all happening so quickly, I just think.
Yeah, no, I think that's
natural.
That's fair. That makes a lot of sense. And, as we kind of are moving into 2026, I feel like January is sort of merger season. So I bet there's going to be more news coming up.
Probably. Okay, but but now I'm curious. What was yours?
Okay, mine was print on demand. I feel obvious,
I almost said that.
Yeah, I think why I was like, I bet she's going to say this and take it. But I mean, I know, like, it's not new this year, of course, but I feel like this is the year, especially in the promo side, that people are finally taking notice of this technology. I really like, it's been a theme of a lot of my coverage because I've done like features on it. I've gone to those print on demand events that Stalls had. But even like silly things, like I just recorded a podcast earlier this week, and it was the silliest podcast just about kind of, we call them bacon stories, but anytime there's kind of like a fun, like, oh, bacon scented soap, like things that brands do that are silly or fun.
Yeah.
And we were just picking out some of the ones we saw kind of promo in the wild. But a lot of the fulfillment of these things, it's got to be print on demand, right? It's got to be this on demand, fulfillment of stuff. So really, like, anywhere you look, it's been a theme of just about anything. Even if I don't think that's what I'm going to be talking about, it ends up being part of the back end of that story. So to me, I think that really has been the theme of the year.
Oh, yeah. And has impacted both of our industries in such a huge way. You can't ignore it, obviously. So,
absolutely.
All right. Well, now that we've kind of had some fun or positive, we've had some positive.
Now we're going to have fun. Positive. Now
we're going to have fun. We always ask, if, again, anyone who listens to our show, we always ask our guests really fun questions, but we very rarely like ask each other funny questions. So I thought, in the spirit of positivity and fun, and in the spirit of the Reggies, I wanted us to each ask a fun question of the other. So I'll ask you first. If there was a, quote, most creative opportunity award for 2025, who or what would you give it to? And I want to caveat this with, the sky's the limit. Be as bold or general with the word opportunity as you choose.
Well, so maybe I didn't get as fun as you wanted me to, but I actually was going back to some of those fun promo opportunities that food brands and restaurants have been doing this year. For instance, like Panera did that baguette bag, the croissant clutch. Mug Root Beer did this like float tote that I think had a secret pouch for your root beer. And what I love about these is, like, obviously they're kind of punny, they're fun, they're creative. But like, if you actually look at that Panera, did you see those bags?
I did.
They were like high end, they were like fancy, nice bags. Like, you didn't like, you're still repping like the company, but it would be something you would want to carry around. Like, it looked like something you would buy at a department store. So I love the idea of being cheeky and fun with your promo, but coming up with something that could still be high end retail. Like, there's a way to like make a joke into a real coveted kind of product that's not just like cheap and crappy. Like, those were like legit items. So I feel like that's the opportunities. You can be creative and still be high end. And it went viral. People loved it. But it would be something that you would actually want to pay money for, not just receive, for free from someone. You would buy that.
100%. And I also, I'm going to float into the promo world on mine.
Yeah.
And people are going to think I'm really selfish, but I'm going to give the most creative opportunity, again, using that loosely, award to us.
Oh.
And here's why.
Okay.
Because I feel like we have sort of defined, let me find it. We're most creative because we talk about rubber ducks. And now I feel like rubber ducks define branding together in Teresa and Cassie.
I love it.
And I just happened to find this clown one. My kids have rubber ducks all around the house. But I feel like here's why I chose it as the most creative opportunity, because we have found a way to bring a partnership together, not just us, ASI and Printing United Alliance, to make it work for the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
And I'm using rubber ducks as the physical iteration.
I love it. And we did say at one point that we wanted to try to bring rubber ducks into every episode, and we haven't done that, so that's on us.
But I brought it back. So maybe we don't win the most creative award. We would have had we followed through.
Yeah, so we tried. I mean, it showed up in a lot of our episodes, so I'm glad that we brought it back to rubber ducks, because really, like, that has been a theme, and I love rubber ducks because they're fun and they're still a little unexpected, and you can do so many different things to customize them. So
Thank you.
I just think they're a great product for sure.
So if anybody's listening, let's create a Printing United Alliance ASI Braiding Together rubber duck.
Heck yeah.
Awesome. Well, Teresa, is it time to bring in our guests or guests today?
I think so.
Awesome. Who do we have?
So today we have Jay Bissell and Jeff Solomon of Branded Merch Network. And they're going to talk to us about the Sustainable Merch Summit that we did earlier this year and talking about some cool things that are going to be happening next year.
So excited. Welcome in, Jay and Jeff.
Printing United Alliance is the leading member-based printing and graphic arts association in North America with over 70 years of history and more than 20,000 members worldwide. We're here to support printing professionals like you with the tools, resources, and information you need to grow your business, sharpen your skills, and expand your network. Whether you're a printer, supplier, student, or educator, we've built our community to serve everyone who's passionate about the future of print. An Alliance membership is a smart, cost-effective way to stay current on the latest trends, connect with industry leaders, and give your business the competitive edge it deserves. Head over to printing.org/membership to learn more about the memberships we offer. Let's move the printing industry forward together.
I'm so excited that we have Jay Bissell and Jeff Solomon of Branded Merch Network with us today. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Great to be here.
Yes. So the first question I have is about the Sustainable Merch Summit. It set the bar very high. It was one of the highlights of my year for sure. What would you guys say are the biggest takeaways from year one?
Oh, boy.
Jay, start with you.
Start with me? Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to have this conversation, but thank you both for being so important, integral parts and pieces, key to have you both be involved. So thank you. Thank you to ASI for loaning you, and thank you to the Apparelists for loaning Cassie. So love you guys so much. It was awesome. It was a big deal. There were some takeaways. I think, this is just me, that we were ready for real talk about sustainability. We were ready to get past kind of the buzzwords. And so I learned that in part from your examples, but I also realized that this isn't about the perfection and that we can be messy and a little sloppy as long as we are focused on progress. And so I think that,
right?
yeah, and it's real and sincere. So the biggest shift was seeing people kind of go from this is overwhelming me to, hey, I can actually do this. And that's what I thought was a big movement and a big opportunity that really was my takeaway.
Oh, that's so powerful. Thank you, Jay. Wow. Because I think you're right. People feel overwhelmed by it. But what you need to understand is that, yeah, it is going to be messy and it's not going to be perfect. And that's not what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I think the summit was able to energize people and get them excited and ready to try something new. Do you have anything quickly you want to add, Jeff?
Yeah, what excites me about it is the impact that the Why It Matters movement is actually having. That it's, I come at this from a distributor perspective as well as being, publisher and part of Branded Merch Network. It all came from the whole idea of like, why does it matter, to a supplier to make a better stuff? Why does it matter to distributors sell a better product? Why does it matter for end user buyers to put their logo on a better product? And so it's really simple, but the distributors don't. I got a sense they don't really get why it actually matters. And so then we started to put a big spotlight on it. And thank you two again for catching the vision. And, we're excited to push the conversation forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you just need to actually be very explicit and spell it out for people. And that works.
You got to make it like, why does it make sense for you?
well, it's easy with a buzzword like sustainability to just let it become background noise. But I think you pose a great question, Jeff. Why? And so I wanted to build on the why. Jeff, why is it so important that we keep having the conversation around sustainability and keep having summits like this rather than simply hosting a one-time event?
Great question. Glad you asked it. And big old why is the industry is absolutely changing. We've been, Jay and I, in our conversations, and you guys all know this as well. This is no joke. This isn't, like we said, it's not, sustainability is moving past being a buzzword. It's actually integrated in the quality business, on the higher level of business. The companies that really, they want to see that their products aren't being made by abused children in some third world country. And the sustainability movement is here to stay. So to get to the answer to the question is, we need to keep moving the conversation forward. It is moving forward, and it's driving positive change in our industry.
Agreed. Jay, what would you add to that?
Wow, it is an important conversation. And so the why is also linked to the impact. And so again, part of my takeaway and things that I'm learning from both of you is that this is not a single event. This is a mindset. And I believe that our industries, and I'm using that word plurally, that there is innovation and that there are expectations and that there's a little bit of now a responsibility to keep making it better. And so companies need to kind of see that. They need to see that they have a place, that their teams need to learn. And then events like ours allows everybody to compare notes without being too judgy. Like we can help
Right.
each other rather than wag the finger at each other. And so I think
Right.
that conversation around sustainability is going to keep going. It's not about, well, one and done. We checked the box. We got certified in something. And so I really hope that that's my, like I said to both of you earlier on, I'm kind of late to the party, but I really do think that we walk together and we get better and that this is about the progress we're making.
Yeah. That's so true. And I think, we always talk about sustainability being a journey, but I think, once you do one thing, it opens up more opportunities. It opens up more questions. It lets you kind of dive deeper into areas that you hadn't thought about. So it really is. There's so many different facets to it, but that you can look at that as so many different opportunities that
Hmm.
for you to learn, explore, find new markets, find new, ideas. So I think it's a pretty fun, exciting thing if you look at it that way, and not just as like, oh, this is overwhelming. Um, so would you guys say that sustainability played a bigger role in this year's wins than we might have expected? How do you think that the mindset shift, how did that change the way people approach their business? Do you guys have any like examples of big wins you saw in the sustainability realm? Jay?
Yeah, for me, I think it did. I really did.
Yeah.
I was surprised, to be honest, just transparently, brutally honest. I think it did. It surprised me a little bit, but what I saw from the conversations that we had and the impactful video interviews that Jeff had been doing was that this has become a real strategy driver, and that maybe there are enough buyers now that are serious about this topic, and their teams are asking deeper, harder, better questions about sourcing, about where things are made, about the product, about the lifestyle cycle and the product cycle. So no matter how we got here, I think it was a win and it was bigger than we expected. And I think that people are now moving past, like I said, checking the box, and they're really creating a merch plan that has this purpose baked in. And so that to me was the big shift that I saw.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff?
Well, we are winning, as they say. What an honor and privilege it's been to push forward this conversation. And I think the one of the big wins is really, I don't want to say like this major shift, but there is a definite shift in the mindset within the industry to deliver better quality goods that aren't going in the landfill. We're slowly moving away from logo slapping. Let's just give away stuff to give away stuff. And I've had the privilege of actually working with a client right now on somebody who wanted to do something that was going to get thrown away. And I go, no, let's create this thing that I work with a supplier on. And so that's where the wins are. And I believe that distributors, decorators, or print peeps, can all build their business in this area of focusing on sustainability and working with their supplier partners too, where they don't know it all. They can get access to the information, testing, all the information that will help them be more effective in selling.
Yeah. What an awesome example of how you have taken something and like actually used it to help someone make a better, more sustainable decision, which actually leads me to my next question. So we've talked about the big wins from past year's event. We've talked about some of the big takeaways, but we've also talked about how this is a mindset shift for all of us. And Teresa and I have talked multiple times about how, we personally do this, and this in our lives. So Jeff, what big takeaway or personal thing did you learn at the summit or get like a light bulb moment that you now enact in your life, your business, whatever?
Yeah, I'm in that weird place where like I really want to, I shouldn't say that, stop selling branded merch, but then I see the because it's challenges. Okay, I'm not going there. We're short show here. What's exciting to me is to actually see the impact that it's having when I, as a distributor, can take some. Okay, here, and this is what the takeaway is from those watching this as distributors: is you can be such a tremendous help to your clients who aren't even thinking about sustainability. This client was going, I want to do this. I want to convey this. We created a 3-part thing that really is where people will keep what that messaging is all about. They didn't even think about that. I didn't really even think about it. It kind of started to come naturally. I go, I don't want to do something that's just going to go in landfill. What can we were talking about why it matters and selling better stuff. Why don't I do it? And so maybe that's the takeaway for people. It's like, yeah, you can do it. And if you don't know, obviously there are great resources that both of you guys have, and you can learn more. Suppliers will be helpful. Suppliers are investing in doing good stuff. They want to help you sell that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Yes. Jay,
Yeah.
for you personally, what's your favorite takeaway that
First of
you've
all,
now?
I have to say I love Jeff's enthusiasm. It's like, hey, even I could do it. It's kind of like if Jay and Jeff could do this, anybody could do this, right? That's kind of the standard.
Well, we weren't going to say it, but we might have all been thinking it.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. It's no worries there. Oh my gosh. First of all, there were so many great takeaways. The community for me was a great takeaway. Building this with people like you, each of you have massive organizations, you have lots of firepower behind you, but it really comes down to the individual. And there's a piece of this that, I don't know how to describe this, but I was a little frustrated with some of the top-down elite pushes on this topic. Is that okay? Am I ruffling any feathers when I say I don't want to see CEOs flying across the country to spend 3 days at a really fancy hotel with a really expensive ticket to basically all say the same things. I wanted to go in the opposite direction, following Jeff's lead on just building on why this actually matters and how can we actually do something. So for me, the shorter supply chains, the local supply chains, the reductions in shipping, measuring one thing, starting there and trying to just improve that one thing, keeping it simple, and then a real effort. And this is something I recently heard. I had not heard this phrase before, but this was a takeaway for me. Was I don't know if it was Joseph Summers' concept or maybe Robert Five Ash, somebody on the sales panel, I have to go back and listen to it, said something about that last minute panic. And then yesterday I heard somebody say, yeah, we got to stop producing this panic swag. And I was like, what is that? And they were like, that last minute, like, just give me something, anything will do. And it's like, yes. Oh yeah, you're right. I get it. Like bake it into the plan that there's purpose. And we don't want to be part of those landfill people, right? Like I'm not being judgy, but I'm just saying that that's an idea that really stuck with me. And, it was a takeaway from that maybe we're building on awareness. Maybe year one for all of us was kind of like awareness, like we can all do something and let's build it grassroots from the bottom up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love that term panic swag because so many times we hear about, last minute people need stuff. But I think there is an opportunity for distributors to be more proactive with their clients, especially if it's if they know that they have these repeat orders. Don't let them, get to the point of panic swag. You should be reaching out ahead of time with these ideas and, sustainable things that they can do. That way we don't have to let's not, I'm a procrastinator.
We
but
all
don't have
are.
to do
We all are.
Yeah. Yeah. We can plan. We can plan and come up with some great things proactively.
Planning is a sustainable move, Teresa.
Yes. Love it.
Yes.
Right?
So speaking of planning, let's turn to 2026, and without giving too much away, because we want to keep some of this maybe under wraps or a surprise or exciting. But I know we all are already talking about the 2026 Sustainable Merch Summit. I'm excited that we're going to keep it going. So give us a little sneak peek of what we can expect.
Yes, so excited, so fired up.
You take that one, Jay.
Okay, well, we are excited. We have been talking. We have been planning. So thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. The cat is officially out of the bag. You heard it here first. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Cassie, for joining us again for 2026. We're not going to reveal a date, but we will be doing something in April, and we are leaving room for more impactful case studies. We'll have new panelists and speakers. We are pulling in a couple of outside voices. We definitely want to get a little bit more behind the scenes and kind of pull that curtain back and say, what does this really look like in this place, in this business, and take it real. And then one of the things we're going to work hard on is Jeff, you almost got it there. I heard it in the earlier segment, but my phrase is promo peeps, apparel geeks, and print freaks. We need everybody in the tent because they are all going through some similar journey, and we will learn better together. And so we're going to do a better job of including a little bit more apparel and including a little bit more from the printing side so that we can get their takes, their voices, and their case studies. So believe me when I say I am jacked up just thinking about this. Oh my God, it's going to be such a great event.
I can't wait.
Well, I do want to jump in and add on to that because, okay, for one, yes, we're so grateful that we actually have these amazing media powerhouses in ASI and Apparel List, Printing United Alliance. So yes, we're very blessed to have you guys. But, kudos to Jay, seriously, for how he goes about orchestrating this. I say this quite a lot, and I'll continue to do that. But what we and our band of misfits,
Yes.
okay, these people we just pull in are creating something that's very real and very authentic. And these online sessions that we're doing are not talking head webinars. There's plenty of that. That's great. Good on all that. But what Brandon Merch Network has done with our community of misfits, Jay's term, is created something that's really special. It's engaging, it's entertaining, it's a very quick couple hours or however long the next one's going to go. So we're really excited that we've created something that's really special, and it's being done with the personality of everybody here and the other contributors. So it's got a flavor that is different and engaging, and what a pleasure it is to be able to push forward in why it matters for as long as it's going to go.
Oh, I love that. So building off of that, Jay, how do we see this excitement, this momentum we're having, and this real action from the summit then building up into something bigger in our industry? How do we see it really reshaping our industry? How do we see these conversations going beyond just our summit?
Well, I love that. I kind of did some reflecting back on 2025. I've watched the entire sessions again, and seriously, stop me from gushing. But you two were dynamic. You were fantastic moderators.
This is why we had you on, just so you could praise.
I mean,
us.
I'm not just hype. I'll be your hype guy. I will. But I'm telling you, it was really good, and you both have such tremendous depth and the resources. So we could not have done it as well without you. So thank you again. But I saw 2025 as kind of our move for awareness. And I think 2026 is going to start to shift into action. And so, when we think about shaping the next chapter in the next year of 2026, how do we move past the buzzwords and get into action, a genuine business driver? So I believe that the buyers that were serious about it before are still serious. And I'm going to give you a weird example, like baseball. We just kind of wrapped up the Dodgers won again, right, Jeff?
Oh, the baseball season. Where's that World Series championship?
Okay, if you don't love baseball, you still know about it and you'll understand this. So each of us is a fan of one of those teams. And I believe sustainability is one of those teams. And we're raging fans for that team. And we hope our team continues to improve so that they do make it into the playoffs and finally to the World Series. I don't think we're at the playoff stage. I think we're kind of somewhere still in the middle. We've got lots of work to do, but I think that our fans are drivers and they are real and they care. And so when we tap into that, and sometimes the fans are employees that work for us, they want meaningful work from smart brands that are doing real work, right? Like they want to stand for something. So when we have the buyers that want to stand for something, we have employees that want to stand for something, then we start to make intentional choices. And I think that's what 2026 is going to be about. And that's what our summit is going to be about. We're not just here to sell products. We're here to move. We're here to create passion. We're here to build on emotion. And the product, whether it's print, promo, or apparel, the product is what builds that bridge to that emotion. And when it's done in a sustainable way, boom, that's the magic moment. That's when we shape culture. That's when it all comes together.
God, thank you for saying that, because sometimes I feel like people look at us and are like, they're just talking heads. They're just a bunch of hippies on a soapbox.
Hey.
No.
Nothing wrong
Okay,
with
I'm kind of a
nothing
hippie.
wrong with being a hippie, first of all, you know.
Well,
It's the gypsies we worry about. No, I'm kidding. It's I shouldn't have said that. That was edit that out. But I'm just saying there's room for all of us. We need
Right.
the crunchy hippie granolas. We need it all. We need top down, bottom up, everybody in the middle. We want to make that, you know, we're singing our song over here. You know what I mean?
I can tell you as someone who attended Woodstock that
Yes. Jeff, own it, baby.
you know I had to go there, right? Yes, yeah, the first one, okay?
Yeah, the real one. There's only one
Not
Woodstock.
Woodstock 99 or whatever it was.
Yeah. I've been around a long time.
Teresa, you did
Yeah,
not
I'm
see that
excited.
one coming, did you?
Let me try to bring it back into business. I've been around a long time and I've seen very positive changes in our industry. And doesn't that sound very professional and business-like from someone, a Woodstock attendee?
Yeah, love it.
Inferno and Grateful Deadhead. Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
Continue.
Well, I think, you know, you guys, this has been like such a great discussion, but we can't let you go without doing one last like fun question. It has nothing to do with sustainability. And since we just were talking about Woodstock music, it's basically, what is your favorite go-to karaoke song and why? Jeff, we'll start with you.
Yes,
since you brought
Jeff,
music
we'll start
to
with
the-
you.
Oh, dang.
Yes.
Okay, I will say this. I have drums over here. I'm a hack musician, a horrible singer. There was a tune I'm gonna give to it. One is back a long time ago. "Wind Beneath Your Wings." Okay,
Oh,
with you. Nasty's like totally surprised.
That Midler, right?
Yeah.
That Midler. I mean, it's like very hard song to sing. He's got the powerful music. Yeah, but because I want to be cool and I went to Woodstock and everything, I don't want to do a Bette Midler song for. I want to choose that. How about "Don't Stop Believing" Journey?
Okay.
Classic rock anthem.
Classic.
Yeah.
It's not
All right,
bad.
Jay. what
Okay,
about you?
I've got something totally different. Okay, first of all, as a child of the 70s and 80s, yes, that dates me. No, I was not at Woodstock. Came a little bit after Woodstock. My go-to karaoke song is something everybody knows. You basically aren't singing. It's "Everybody Was Kung Fu Fighting." It's
Oh,
it's the 1974 one-hit wonder. It's a classic. Everybody knows it. And honestly, it's a perfect sustainability summit song because everybody's moving fast. And when you have a line that says "those cats were fast as lightning," come on. It was a little bit frightening. Give it up. We're talking about pulling together a summit. This is our summit song. We're going to fight with expert timing. I mean, we got to get this, with ninja speed. Everybody was kung fu fighting.
How do we have this
As
as
soon
like
as
our
I say it,
walk-in music?
everybody knows
Let's
it.
do it. We're doing it.
well, that was not where I thought either of you were going to go, but I
No.
love both of those answers,
Hey.
all of them.
we're full of surprises.
Full of something.
Awesome. So all of our listeners, be on the lookout for announcements to roll out. Follow Jay, follow Jeff, but follow Branded Merch Network because that's where all the news is dropping and happening. We want everybody to be as engaged as they were for 2025
Yes.
More
or the
so.
26th Summit.
And more.
More so.
Let's build.
We're building,
Let's
baby.
build on it. Let's
We're going to
go.
be kung fu fighting our way to the top.
Now I'm going to be singing that song
all day
today.
long.
Come on.
You're
Kung Fu
welcome. The
fighting.
gift that keeps giving. You're welcome.
Well, there you go. There's a little. So you're welcome, everybody. Thanks, Jay, for putting that song in our head for the rest of the day.
You got it. My
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Huge shout out to Jay and Jeff, but obviously we have a special place in our heart for the Sustainable Merch Summit and for Jay for helping us get it going. They're thought leaders. They bring so much to the table, and most of it's actionable, right? So it's things that we can actually take away and do in our businesses. But we are coming to the end of our episode. For now, it is time to have a little more fun. We are going to play Holiday Rapid Fire. So in 30 seconds, I'm going to fire holiday-themed questions at Teresa. She has to answer them as fast as possible, and then we're going to swap.
I love it. I'm so excited.
All right. Are you ready? I'm starting my timer. You ready?
Yes.
All right. What's your favorite holiday meal?
Oh, I love any kind of like cake, cookies.
What's your go-to seasonal beverage?
Eggnog with amaretto.
Oh, yum. Live Christmas tree or fake Christmas tree?
Live.
Favorite holiday movie?
Elf or the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Okay. Go-to holiday party outfit?
I have a cute black dress with like lace on it, and I'll wear like Christmas tree earrings and like a big statement ring.
Oh, that was 30 seconds. Okay, that was really good.
Okay.
Great.
All right. So
do you have a timer up?
no. Can you reset your timer?
Yeah. I'm
All right.
resetting.
I'm
All
gonna.
right, ready?
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go. Okay. Who's your favorite holiday character?
Oh, Mariah Carey.
White Christmas lights or colorful Christmas lights?
Colorful.
Favorite holiday dessert?
Chocolate bundt cake.
What's the best gift you've ever received for Christmas?
I got a doodle bear when I was like 12.
Best holiday song to listen to?
Oh, I like Little Drummer Boy by Pentatonics.
Secret Santa or White Elephant?
White Elephant. Oh, 30 seconds. Okay.
Oh, we got through a lot of those, actually.
I know we had a lot of questions, but we only got through like 6 or 7. That was good, though. I love it.
Love it. Love it. We learned a lot, and I agree with a lot. Like White Elephant is much more fun than Secret Santa.
Thank you. It's so hilarious, especially if you play crappy White Elephant.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Awesome, you guys. Well, thank you so much for an amazing 2025. We're so happy we get to be a part of your listening conversations, part of the industry. And thanks, Teresa, for being an amazing co-hostess.
Same to you. It was a great year. Can't wait for next year.
I know we have some fun, exciting things in store for 2026, so don't go away.